able to change the way I think. And that's why we are here today. The art of positive thinking. When I was able to change the way I think was when a lot of things became, oh, okay, let's proceed with this. And a lot of things appeared seemingly impossible. For many people, it is not so. Believe me, for many people, it is not so. So, is my video still on? Okay, well, okay. So for many people, it isn't so. Probably you pin the video if you can, so that I can also see it from my end here. Okay, still not so. Okay, so the distraction, let me just proceed normally then. So going forward now, if you can still hear me. So like I said, when you have mental limitations, which may be as a result of negative thinking or things you hear, it could limit you, and believe me, it's not a good place to be. You can't reach for the stars when your thinking is not yet right. You can't reach for the stars. So briefly, let me talk about why you should cultivate the art of positive thinking. And if you would like to put it in a question perspective, why should you cultivate the art of positive thinking? The first I would say is that your life goes and your life veers in the direction of your thoughts. Your life goes and your life veers in the direction of your thoughts. So basically, this happens unconsciously. There are a lot of things that people do that they don't know, and it tells you the extent of your thoughts. For instance, I'll still get there. When you're faced with challenges, what do? Some people run from challenges, some people face these challenges, some people just stay numb. It's still a perspective. Unconscious thinking is what happens to you. So when you scare people, what happens at those kind of moments? It's the unconscious thoughts. People who are fearful can freeze, they can run away. It's the unconscious thought. So you generate that your life flows in the direction of what you think the most, particularly the unconscious part. For instance, if you expect to fail, you would fail. You would fail. And that's why you really need to build this part of you. You need to. So many people are failures because they don't even know anything about how do we do it. Their thoughts think failure all the time. So you have to position your mind in a way that you don't think failure. I don't think failure, for instance, even if there are 10 questions and all I answer is one or two. Somewhere within my mind, I'm still expecting God. I mean, you have to do something. Because the failure part is not it for me. So you really need to be conscious as to what you think about. So many people who are failures today were thinking about it all along. Their thoughts were all about failure. They didn't see themselves succeeding at anything. And that's why if you meet some people on the roadside and you tell them, what business can you start? Let me give you money. They tell you, no, forget business. I know they do business. The business is not my thing, because they don't see themselves succeeding at it. If you ask them, okay, how can I set you up? A lot of people that give blank checks don't have expectations. It's their thoughts. Their life has gone in the way their thoughts has always been. Another reason why you should cultivate positive thinking is it helps your self-esteem. It helps your self-esteem. When you're always thinking in the negative, it is normal to see yourself less than others. See yourself as less than others. I'll give an example later, but it is very normal. And so you have to up yourself. You do not see yourself by reason of your background, your experience, your weakness, whatever it is. You are not less than those people. Another reason why you should actually, invest in your positive thinking is that it helps your sense of security. You are not insecure when good things happen to others, because somewhere in your mind, you know it's going to happen to you too. This is a big deal. Believe me. Many people feel that when good things happen to others, it is because those people are people that God has planned good things for. I've been in that situation before when I was much younger. It is normal, because somehow you're like, is it only you? This one, that one, that one. It is normal, but you need to maintain positive thinking that, okay, it's a matter of chance. If somebody does something today, somebody gets a scholarship today, somebody gets an award today, it is a matter of time. Positive thinking. Positive thinking, even if you think at that moment you are totally disqualified or incompetent, positive thinking tells you that, hey, you can grow. Growth is one of the things positive thinking tells you. You can grow. You see a man get something at a particular age or even younger, and you feel, why I didn't get it. Growth tells you, no, you will still get there. And at regardless of whatever age you get there, you would get it also, you would get it also. Another reason, which is probably number 4, is you experience joy. You experience joy. You see, when you're full of joy, you are alive and active. You are alive and active. You can aspire for many things. People who aspire to be this, that, go and ask, go and check them well. They are happy people. They are happy people, and that's why random thoughts come. In fact, research reveals that when you are happy, you have more inspirations. When you have joy, inspirations come to your mind more often. Your mind is like a very healthy soil that a lot of things can grow and germinate within. You experience joy. You are not demotivated by every single thing. And this is quite important, because if you're not able to cultivate positive thinking, you'd find yourself bitter more often than not. You'd find yourself envious, you'd find yourself angry, you'd find yourself guilty of not doing the right things, then still guilty that you thought that you didn't do the right things, and it is in the continuum. You literally think the world is against you. More reason why you really need to tame your thoughts. You need to tame your thoughts. So yes, having talked extensively on how important the art of positive thinking is and all of that, because like I said, it is a conversation, and I'm hoping that more questions would come in that will really make this topic on spot, because that really is the highlight of this conversation. So how do you cultivate positive thinking? Well, there are a lot, but let me start by saying leverage on your happy moments. That's something. Nobody has had life all sad. It can never be. God didn't create it to have. There must be something, whether it is food, whether you are at an event and they serve you jollof fries or you enjoy the food, there must be something. And you see, for somebody who needs to cultivate positive thinking, you hold on to it. Let them be a source of motivation. Probably there was something so wonderful happened to you. Keep it within you. If you have to write it on the wall of your room, this day, let it be that motivation for you. Let it be that motivation. Don't entertain doubts. Let that be the source of motivation for you. Don't entertain doubt. Hold on to it. The word impossible should be possible. You let yourself know, oh, this Apple moment encouraged me. This, that. There is a lot that can happen. There's a lot. The second I would say is that you have to grow your mental strength. And I hope somebody is taking notes. Positive thinking is not for people who do not invest in their mental strength. When you meet, and that's why more illiterates are unable to have positive thinking, because somehow their mind has a vacuum that has not been filled over time. And when I say illiterate, it's people who are uninformed, not necessarily uneducated. They are uninformed. They have no knowledge to share, nothing within them. So you must develop your mental strength. Your mind shouldn't break down at every challenge. No. I've met people that the slightest challenge, they've given up. You can't have positive thinking that way. You can't achieve anything that way. Your mind must grow. You must develop mental strength. There must be a problem-solving mentality within you. When you are faced with challenges, you tell yourself, no way, I'm not backing out. I'm only thinking about it. Believe that every problem has a solution. And like some people would say, believe that there are solutions. So you just have to find the most viable. That's how you develop mental muscle. That's how you know, okay, my mental strength is developing, I'm growing. You must. And when you're able to have that mindset of there must be a solution, it helps you with your positive thinking. It does. It does. Then the thought I would say is how? How do you develop the art of positive thinking? Is work out your thoughts. Work out your thoughts. So in the extent that you get a lot of these thoughts, it is not enough to leave them as thoughts. Thoughts are like vapor. They would vaporize, they would eventually go away, and then you're back to default. So when something comes to your mind, like an inspiration or what have you, quickly carry it out or note it down. If you can't carry it out at the spot, note it down. Your action should match your thoughts. So you cannot complain about always thinking negative, and then finally somebody gives you a positive thought to think about. You just linger on it, then somewhere in your mind, you throw it in the waste bin of your mind, and tomorrow you are back to thinking negatively. It doesn't work that way. You must work out your thoughts. Say, for instance, you are oppressed or depressed, and you read a book that tells you something you can do. Quickly go and start it. Don't just sit down and say, well, maybe some other time, and all of that. No. So let me go to the fourth one so that we can have more time for our conversation. The fourth one would be pray about what bothers you. Pray about what bothers you. Now, I don't mean to sound like a religious fanatic, but I'll tell you more that beyond the spiritual side to prayer, there's a psychological perspective to prayer. It keeps you hopeful that there's a solution. That's the psychological part of prayer. It is not, it keeps you hopeful. So every time you pray about something, somewhere in your mind, there's a glimpse of hope. And that glimpse of hope helps you to keep thinking right. So say, for instance, you have somebody who is sick. You pray about the please help this person, I want this person to be fine. Somewhere in your mind, you are looking forward to it. Even if at the point you prayed about it, you didn't believe it. By the time you say that, maybe the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, your mind believes it. Your mind believes it. And so psychologically, you are hoping for something positive to happen. It keeps you hopeful that there's a solution. This helps your thinking. And that's where positive thinking also helps. It helps your thinking that, okay, the more I think about it, oh, okay, it can work. And then now the fifth part, which is somehow an offshoot of the fourth part, and you really need to believe this, particularly if you've been through a lot in life. You really need to believe this. You have to be assured that God loves you. You have to be. Now, this looks like a casual statement once again from a religious fanatic, but the truth is that it is not. It is not. When life throws a lot at you, then you know how important this part is, because everything can look against you. And then it now takes, oh, no, 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 no. I know God loves me. All these things could not happen. I mean, so, and believe me, a lot of adults go through this. So you wake up that morning, you find out that something is spoiled, so you are late already for wherever you're going. So let's say you have to take a bus, you get to the bus stop, somebody stains your clothes, okay. Then as soon as you enter the bus, you found out that your phone was stolen. Then a lot of things keep going forward, and you're like, what? But just the thought of, no, I know God loves me, this thing just came randomly. It gives you hope that it's not like you're under attack. It's not like something is totally wrong with your life. You are hopeful. You are hopeful. So it rescues you from sometimes whatever condemnation you may feel within you. Nothing lingers in your thought, because then when things go wrong, you start feeling, oh, and that's something that sponsors negative thinking, because for many people, things go wrong and they can't help thinking on the negative. So this part even becomes more apparent, because then you can't help thinking, oh, maybe it's because I didn't give a beggar money one day I was going to work and the beggar asked me for money. Because you are not really confident of the love. And believe me, the fourth and the fifth point I've made now is so common to human. And that's why people explore so many faiths. And that's why we have so many religions. We have over 1,000 religions in the world, because there's that part of you that you just need to be sure that I'm not doing this life alone. It's just somebody else that, whether I can see it, although everybody, we encourage that you really know the God you serve, the living God, the word, but it's that part for people. It's really that part for people. So, okay, I don't know if we'll be following, but let me just try to make a point now, is that, see, I'll make this point that positive thinking has a lot to do with your life. It does. So I'll share this experience and maybe one or two experiences. I recall that sometime in my year two, first semester, I wrote an exam, and as much as I loved it. So in that exam, I was tired, I was sleepy. I even took a nap last time I ever took a nap in the exam, last time. So what happened was I read so much and I forgot the things I read. And I saw my friends writing, I'm like, whoa, nice one. We all read, though, you people are writing, I'm here. It felt like, you're alone on this. And then my kind of friend, we don't talk in exam. It's a no-no. So whatever conversation has to be done before exam to call, nobody would even try it. So it felt like I was alone. But guess what I did? Positive thinking. As soon as I left that exam or that day, I went to the library. I didn't allow people ask me too many questions as to, oh, what happened? How are you? I went to the library and I sat down. Library was still quite vacant then. And I spoke to myself. Remember, positive thinking. And I told myself that, you would never, ever be in a situation where in an exam or you forget what you have read. You would never, ever. or be in a situation where you are sleeping in the exam, or what insolent? Why are you sleepy? I mean, so believe me, I can't emotionally describe what that was for me, but that situation every time was a turning point for me also, because I never was in that situation. To be in an exam, even if I didn't read, there's something to write, that I'll feel sleepy. As soon as they bring the paper, my spirit is awake, we're ready to write. My mind wakes up. So it was like an instruction. And you can tell your mind think positive based on how you instruct yourself. That was it for me. And then another perspective, there are so many perspectives to these things, and I'm hoping our questions cover the field. So within 2 minutes, let me also say another experience. So at the beginning, I talked about leverage. So when I was also going to believe that, okay, me, you have to become an A student, no more B's, no more B. What was that? An happy moment. There was this course, maybe I should just say it, because we have some lost today. And that was 200 level. Second semester, it was so tough. The second semester was so tough. It was so tough. I think we had 3, 4 lecturers teaching us. They just were all going about. So it was apparently somehow, we had a lot of people failed it. Less than 10 people made A's in the exam. Like, what? Less than 10 people? So the results came out. I thought I had 72. Okay. The best student in the class had 74. Now, it looks so petty, right? But because I needed to grow positive wise, positive thinking wise, that for me was so much to hold on to. So what I did was I told myself that if the best student in this class can only be 2 marks ahead of me, just 2 marks, that was what I told myself. When you are, nothing stops you from being an A student, like making straight A's, nothing stops you. So that mental change and positive thinking also dared me. So every semester I looked forward to making nothing but A's, nothing but A's. And believe me, for semesters after that, it was so wonderful that out of 4 courses, no matter how bad, like worst come to worst, somewhere in my mind, I know I will at least have 2 A's. Then the remaining 2 courses, we can be negotiating A, B. It was just that. I thought of nothing but A's. Sometimes it may not be courses for you. It may just be something that you are better than with somebody. Let it fuel your positive thinking. Nobody has it all more than you. Nobody. There must be something, and so you must be able to thrive in your uniqueness. What separates me from this person? And that's why I see this mentality alone has changed my self-esteem. I never see myself lesser than anybody. If there's somebody who is bigger than I am, greater than I am, guess what I see? Growth. I tell myself. So I would never walk up to that. When I was going to this thing or there about, I told myself that, and I still tell myself these things today. I told myself that nobody, and then if you're a law student here, you can relate. Nobody is more brilliant than you are. They have only studied and applied more than you have. Get it well. Nobody is more than you have, and they applied it well. So I'll break it down for you. Brilliance is the thing of the mind, right? Nobody bought any book from their house, from anywhere. They read it. So it is the first step that they were more brilliant than is because they read it. And then because they have better results. So we have people who read well, but don't apply it well, and they have very low results. So it is that mentality too that keeps you above. You must always paint your uniqueness with you and anybody that you think is better than you. And just one thing that you think, oh, well, in this part, I think is my strength and I have it more than the person. That uniqueness should thrive with that. You are not lesser. So you keep thinking good and good and good alone. Because, well, I didn't know time would go this fast, honestly. I was thinking we still have like 20 minutes to discuss. So about now, I would keep it short and open to have questions. I'll check the chat box. Please drop questions. Let's address some parts that actually are not all for. So can we probably train the questions now? Oh, sorry, someone said village meeting or stop village meeting. Village people want stop village meeting. I know. Please, do we have questions really, or I should just probably talk on other parts? Questions? Moderator, are you available?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm available, sir. So any questions, people? Do we have any questions? Anybody? Let me check the chat. goals. So, do we have any questions? We need to this. So, maybe we should just conclude them. Can I have the questions later?
Okay, going. All right. So, in absence of further questions, hoping that it is clear, because sometimes it is really clear. So, I would say that whatever you conceive in your mind, it is possible. Never think of yourself lesser than anyone. Never think that there is a reason why good things shouldn't happen to you. Never think that those who have achieved so much in life are them, and then you are not meant for all of those things. You have to believe that good things happen to you too. You must entertain it. See, you must not let your mental, because like I said, your mind patterns how your life goes. You must always have, it must be intentional that every time you sense an iota of negative thought, somewhere in your mind, you tell yourself, no, this is the devil, and then you fight it. Oh no, this is trying to bring me down, because it affects everything. I can't imagine ever having low self-esteem. You should have fought everything. I would not have anything today to boast of. Not that I have anything actually, but it would have been worse. So I can't ever imagine that I'm traveling and I have fear. Do you know the reason why many people don't travel is because of fear? Their mental part. So you dream to travel all around the world, and just because of that mental limitation, that you don't think well, the fact that you don't think good, you think that people fly the plane all the time, and so the one time you enter the plane is when the plane will crash. That's negative thinking. It kills you. Negative thinking kills your dreams. And if you are old, if you are really, really old, negative thinking gives you hypertension. That's what happens to many people. They don't think the good things. They always think bad. You want to light a gas, you think, oh, no, gas can explode on me. Why? Why? Why are you not to experience the good things in life? Why should you even envision those things? I confidently, and don't forget, I told you about prayer, God, all of these things. They help you, because some things that you may say are beyond physical, but truthfully, those are all of it. Those are all of it. You have to entertain positive things for so many reasons. It's how your life will go. It helps your self-esteem. You have to boost your mental strength so you can achieve that. You have to pray about the things that bother you, because it gives you a glimpse of hope. You have to, of course, feel wrapped in God's love. And I said that as humans, we all crave for this. And that's why people venture into different religions. It must be something encompassed in you. I don't enter a bus today, and then my first thought is, this bus will have accident. What? Even if it would, I believe that, okay, the fact that I am in the bus is why it would not have accidents. See, you may not be able to help it, but it is better you entertain such a thought than the other way, because the other way, I think people say fear kills a man many times before he actually dies. That I think I've read something like that before. So is negative thinking. It kills your dreams before you even ever get to dream. It kills your dream before you even get to dream. Some people think that they can never and never ever. Some people don't even ever see themselves big. And I'm not joking. I interact with a lot of people. I'm amazed that when I see people, some people feel they can never make an A in a course. A, and they laugh it off, joking, our care, not also Eba. Now, to them, they are being realistic, but it's negative thoughts. So you don't even think that one day, God can just feel, let me surprise you with A. They don't even think it to that extent. They think so lowly of themselves, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Nobody have achieved more things. Give yourself time. Grow. In your place of work, when you see people who are really brilliant, who are really outstanding, positive thinking tells you that I'll be that person in a few months. I'll be that person in a few years. Okay, Toby, thank you. Coward dies 1,000 times before his death. Yeah, thank you. Something like that. Give yourself that positive thinking. If you ever see anybody who dreamed today or who have achieved much today, it's positive thinking. Dreaming is natural to everybody. We all dream of something, but the way negative thinking is like a thorn, and your dreams are like balloons. As soon as you conceive them, they go without a trace. That's how it is. So dreaming is natural. Everybody wants to be big. Even if you don't want to be big, everybody wants to have money. I've not seen somebody that say, well, me, I just want to be poor in my life. Let's just struggle, let's hustle. Everybody wants to have money. So we all dream of that comfort. But why don't we go after it? Negative thinking. And that's where entertaining positive thinking comes. You must think it possible. You must see growth always. That I may not be there today, but with a period of time, with growth, with paying attention, with all of the points we've highlighted today, because your mind really is the limitation. And like I said, take an architect as an example. Whenever they need to build something, they walk through it. They walk through it. I mean, I had one of my pastor teachers, someone, he said they walk through it. So they want to build, say, a stadium somewhere. They walk to that stadium. They walk to every the doors, they open the doors, they close the doors, they live in that place in their mind. In their mind, I mean, I really want to say an architect and say, how do you do this? How do you conceive it? Because it is that powerful. And imagine that structure you are seeing coming out of their mind, even if they are two, three, how are they able to fuse it together? It's so powerful. It's so powerful. The metaverse came out of someone's mind. Great things can come out of your own mind too. And like I say, your mind is more powerful than any metaverse because your mind was engineered by God, not a man. What was engineered by God can be lesser than what a man created. It all depends on how well we think positive, how well we harness it, how well we tell ourselves that you see, I am going to make a difference. I will believe these things are possible. I will ensure that I'm able to cover this thing. So we have about 4 or 5 minutes left now. If you still have a question, you can say something, and I'm actually expecting a question, even if two. You can say something. I don't want to call names, but because you have to. Nobody can say they don't consider limitations. Is it self-esteem? Is it fear? What is it? Because, like I said, we are passionate. We are passionate that if people get their mind well enough, they can achieve anything. They can achieve anything. If you see people achieve things, get awards, go and ask them, did you ever think it possible? They tell you yes. In fact, some people want to clear the air, they clear your doubts. If, let's say somebody becomes someone like Toby Amusonas, will tell you, I remember years back when I ever saw that, when I dreamt that, when I conceived that, when I believed that, whoa, mind, mind. It is so powerful that when God was going to create the world, his mind produced it. The Bible says in the beginning, the Spirit of God was hovering over. So, and then he said, so every speech, every believing, every structure you see all comes from the mind. Even you are a product of God's mind because God said, let us mind. So I'll keep it up at that. I'm sure the remaining minutes used by the moderator for other things that have necessary. So thank you for having me. Thank you for listening. Still looking for questions. I'm available. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. We are really blessed.
I can't hear the moderator. Am I doing it?
I can. Can you hear me now, sir?
Oh wow.
So can any other person hear me? I can hear you, sir.
Okay, my phone.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful session. We learned so much about our mind and how positive thinking will change our mind. Our time is fast spent. I'll just go over it again, but then yes. So I'll just share this quote by one of the world top psychologists. I don't know. Yeah, Carl Jung said, "Until we make the unconscious conscious, to keep the acting alive, I will call it fate." So that's just the summary. If you want to get that's just the summary of what I'm saying. Until we make these unconscious thoughts conscious, they will be directing our lives. So if we have negative thoughts or failure thoughts, then it will lead to failure. Then if we have this success mindset, then we can always get our success. So we just have to upgrade our minds. So we are expecting questions. So we have just 3 minutes left, but then we would love to have any question. At least any question, anyone's question. Let me check the chat box. So we don't have any question. I think we are really clear on this. Then no question. I'm waiting for questions. in the absence of none, let me just make a quick recap on how to cultivate positive thinking. Yes, to cultivate positive thinking, we have like leverage on our happy moments. Like you said, even I got that, even if it's just the time you are eating the rice at one day, if you can just, if that's the only happy moments, if you can just picture that, and they call them emotional anchors. Yes, they are the only ones that they will be your anchor whenever you are down depressed. If you can just remember the happy moments, then it can be all you need. So leverage on your happy moments. That's the first one. The other one is you have to grow your mental strength, and the best way to grow your mental strength is to read books. Fill the vacuum with your mental stuff. So that's why you have to like grow your mental strength. Okay. Also work out your thoughts. That's the third one. Then pray about what bothers you. Beyond the spiritual aspect of prayer, there's a psychological aspect because it gives us a glimpse of hope. As long as we have hope, then every other thing is possible. Then the last one is be assured that God loves you. Even if everything is turning bad for you, just know that there is a God that loves you. So that's it. So why similar question? So I think I will just round up here. And any addition, sir? Okay, I think Fangadibola wants to say something.
So you called my name. Hello.
I can't hear you, ma.
Hello.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
can
did
hear
you
you,
ask
ma.
me a question?
No. Like I saw that you unmuted yourself, so I thought you wanted to like ask a
Oh
question.
no, there was a mistake. It was a mistake. The session was
Okay,
powerful. Thank you. Yeah.
okay, ma. Thank you very much. So the closing prayer, Almighty God, we thank you for giving us such an enlightening session. Lord, give us the grace to be able to utilize all what we learned today. Lord, come and bless our facilitator. Come and give him more wisdom to be able to share more of this. Lord, guide us through our aspect of life. Help us to grow more in influence, in wisdom, and in our career. And for TV also, Lord, guide TV's the grace to join the leading organizations. Just make them afraid. Thank you very much for attending. We appreciate you. So same time next week, 4 p.m. we'll be having another mind-blowing session. Thank you very much.